Okay, greetings everyone. This is Gerard, Black in the Philippines with the truth. Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will. Brother Bench could not make it. He's on his way back to the States now. We've had some terrible weather here. We get these alerts that say there's mudslides, rainfall. I guess we're kind of in the typhoon season right now. In some areas of the Philippines, it gets a lot worse than we're getting it here. We just had a heavy downpour right now, but it stops. That's one thing about the Philippines, that it'll rain and it'll stop. It'll rain and it'll stop. Then sometimes it gets rather frustrating. We were going to take the scooters, but when we first felt the first drop, we stopped and turned around and went back. Before I get started and introduce you to my guests, I want to speak on something. A lot of you have been sending me in my comment sections about Sunshine's shoulders. Someone said that he's a scam. Someone said that he's a ripoff.
No.
Someone said that that he's a hypocrite and all this. And brother, this is Brother Calvin. This is Brother Calvin. Let me introduce you, Brother Calvin. You remember him from the last video from American Blacks kicking it. Right, okay. Refresh everybody where you're from, Calvin.
Well, I'd like to say hello, first of all. I'm from the United States, the great United States, and from the state of Tennessee. And I'm so pleased to be welcomed to be on one of my brother's, one and only, one of many video recordings.
He said Tennessee, but those of us in the game call it Tennessee. You figure out why they call it Tennessee. Well, as I was saying, your comment to me about Calvin, and all I can say is that there are a lot of bloggers out there. If you're taking any blogger word as gospel, there's something wrong with you. This is all entertainment. Are you not being entertained? Sure you are. That's what it is. It's entertainment.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? No one's trying to give you advice how to live your life. What we try to do is get. The power's on. Great. We were in a blackout. What we try to do is try to give you some insight to what it's like living here in the Philippines and the choices that we made for ourselves. And I'm sure Calvin is making the same type of choices for his life. So, my mother always told me, if you have not got nothing nice to say to someone,
Nothing at all.
thank you very much. Nothing more said. So, but if you do want to dump salt on somebody, tell the person. I don't like negativity. I'm not about negativity. I try to stay as positive as I can. And even when I try to tell you something that might be interpreted as being negative, I try to put it in a way where I spin it where it comes out positive. So I'm not spinning this. I'm just letting you know what it is. Is that Calvin Sunshine Shoulder is doing Calvin Sunshine Shoulders. We all have opinions. And our opinion is our opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. So if you have a problem with someone, all I can say is what? Don't watch his videos. But then I'm not saying that to encourage you not to watch his videos and watch mine, Gerard Black in the Philippines, the truth. I'm saying that to say that you have choices. Don't listen to my video to see how many words, I mispronounce.
Allow me to partologize myself. Suppositorily speaking, my incarceration has forced, the ventilation of, shall I say, my dairy air. And upon my discharge, I will ejaculate my mind to the prophylactic of the bowels of society.
Don't watch my videos waiting for me to try to convert the Filipino pesos into American pesos, and I can't do math. Don't watch me and try to keep a tally on how many words I mispronounce. That's not what this is about, man. You take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so right now, Calvin, we're gonna talk because you and I had with Vince, we had some nice. We decided to do this U.S. style with some Hennessy.
Right.
To let you know that we do have currency in the Philippines, not just tango eye, right?
That's right. That's right. It ain't nothing but rock good anyway. And I'm so pleased to be, as I stated earlier, on one of my brother's videos, which they are one of many, and we like to elaborate, as you spoke earlier, about life in the Philippines. Life in the Philippines is a beautiful way of living. Some of the most beautiful ladies you ever know, some of the best food that's ever cooked, and some of the best places to visit, some of the best people are stationed or residing right here on the Philippines island. What a beautiful place to be. And my brother and myself are both married people. We chose this country because we was attracted to the lay of the land. And some of the women we both jumped the broom, can you say?
Drop the broom.
And we are happily married, if I may add that way.
Okay.
Me, myself, I've been married for, I don't know, we married, my sweetie, 11, 12 years,
Okay.
and still going.
Okay.
You know, I'm not ashamed to say, I'll be turning 61 in the near months, few months to come. And I want to say 49 when I married my wife right here in the Philippines, and had a beautiful turnout. Some of the most gracious people would like to come and share that special day with you. I was recently invited to my brother's ceremony on the other side of the island, which was one of the most beautiful ceremonies that I've seen in a long time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had visited my brother in his quarters, and God only knows how he sit here in front of you openly and can speak with no flaws. But on that day, I thought I had to get a fan and fan him a little bit. But he made it through there.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about the what's that Monsignor, which we call a pastor, that came to perform the ceremony.
Yes, the pastor.
And he had a statement to the congregation, if you will. Anybody got a Bible?
Anybody got a Bible?
I looked at my partner, I'm like, wow,
You're the preacher, you're supposed to have the Bible. You know? But he found one. For some reason or other, he couldn't complete the ceremony unless he had a Bible in his hand. Because part of the ceremony is, I guess, you put your hand on a Bible. I can't remember. And so I told him, when you have a cell phone, Google a Bible. You know? At least you have a picture of one if all else fails. But that's a first, brother. That's a first.
Yeah, but I like to add to that. By the way, he was late.
Oh.
And that's probably why he forgot his Bible. Putting that neck band on. Yeah. But he done a wonderful job.
He did. He performed a wonderful ceremony.
Yeah, it was.
Wonderful ceremony.
And once again, talking about the Philippines, I just said that stuck. I have not wanted to return back to the United States. But due to some circumstances, I will be leaving soon, returning to the United States. For a short stay, I'll be on the first thing smoking back to the Philippine Islands.
Okay. Well, you know, Brother Benz, who was supposed to be with us, you know, I spoke to him, and he says, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all, just gonna stay in the Philippines and don't go back to the U.S. I said, well, brother, tell me, what it is that you got to go running back to the Philippines? I mean, back to the United States for? What is there for you? And when he told me, I'm not gonna put his business in the street, but I told him it's legal now what's the other country over here?
Over here?
Thailand. I said, it's legal in Thailand now. Oh, really? I said, yeah. So he said that's something to consider. Because, that was the thing that was pulling him back, because he wanted to, I guess, rejuvenate his soul.
This certain type of recreation.
Right.
Like you stated earlier, that's his choice.
Right.
That's his choice.
But that's something that you have to give up when you decide to make a drastic change from in not only different countries but different cultures. They do things differently. Like I was talking to this place where I go to, Calvin, and I stop, and if they're singing karaoke, I've gotten addicted to karaoke. at least singing my one song, Love Me With All Your Heart. So anyway, so I'm sitting there, and so he tells me, oh, he says, he's an American nigger. And
You didn't tell him.
no. But this is an old guy. You understand? This is an old guy. You got to understand, this is how they refer to us, as an American nigger. It wasn't nothing derogatory. It wasn't anything that, he said, no, his father is an American nigger, like this. And he said, what are you? I said, I'm an American nigger. but those in today's modern, generation, they say Black American, which is Black American. But those who are from the older generations, when I guess when America was here and the troops and whatever, they considered us as American niggers. So, but other than that, but let me,
I know you didn't take that literally.
No. I did. Mad respect, and I know I never made him felt, embarrassed or intimidated or like he did something wrong. I wouldn't do that, because I understood. And that's the thing that you have to do when you're living in different cultures. You have to understand that it is a different culture. You can hear the rain coming down now.
I would say I was called a nigga so much when I was growing up. I thought that was my name. I told my teacher that I wanted to be a lawyer. She said, no, you're a nigger. And that ain't no job for a nigger.
Well, I hate to be using that word so much. I like to say trigger. But anyway, who was it? Paul Mooney? Paul Mooney said, when I get up in the morning, I say nigga. He said it makes my teeth white. Nigga.
But white folks, you shouldn't have made up nigga. I didn't make it up. It's too bad. I say nigga 100 times every morning. It makes my teeth white. Nigga.
So I'm ready when I get out there and I hear.
Right.
I had enough niggers today.
Let's talk about the Philippine girls.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, where'd you meet your wife?
Well, I met my wife on a religious Christian site.
Oh, okay.
ChristianRegister.com.
Okay.
Not just my wife, many Filipino ladies is looking for a better way of life with a more respectable man, and we Black Americans are. And like I say, physically met her here in the city of Gentle People.
Okay, yes.
Called
that's what it's known as, the city of Gentle People.
Well, we being topped off here. I got my baby and my wife here, and my nephew, which is my godson. This is two newlyweds here. But Philippine women, one thing I just was showing an example of, it's still a language barrier there.
Okay, yeah.
I remember I was in the States with my wife, and we seen a truck pass by, and he was carrying cotton. I said, cotton. Cardboard. I said, cotton. She said, cotton. I said, cotton. So there's a language barrier, but it's workable. You can get around it. And with respect. With respect to the ladies, Filipino ladies will treat you like the king that you are. And it's just very, very, very important. And I wouldn't change if I could from being with a Filipino.
Well, neither would I. I remember when I first came to the Philippines, and I walked out of the airport. I checked into my hotel, and the next day I decided to go to Robinson. Robinson is a big department store here, and I'm walking on the street, and first of all, I was struck by the fact that when they look at me, it's not one time. They look at me like they look at double take at me. I said, really? You look at double take at me? Me? I said, in the States they go, ew. But here in the Philippines, girls show you mad love. And it was funny because I looked at all the Filipino girls and they had a little pot belly, pot belly. And I looked at it as them being fertile. I looked at it as them being so fertile that they would get pregnant, if the breeze was wrong, and the drought would die. But then someone told me, said, no, Gerard, that's a rice belly. I said, okay.
Justified in that.
Right. And so anyway, so when I'm walking, I'm looking at Filipino girls, I said, oh my God.
Oh, Lordy.
They all look alike. You know what I'm saying? And some little long black hair, white skin, like this, like this. I said, they all look alike. You know what I'm saying? So it was interesting that's how I view them as them all looking alike. You know, but Filipino girls, you know, see, although most of my life I dated white girls,
Yeah.
but there's no one particular type of girl that I would gravitate to. I mean, of course, when I was younger, it was older women, because older women was the ones who gave me my education. Right. But here, I look at the person. I look at the soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, looks. Yeah, you can always find someone who looks good and everything, but can you love someone with a little sprinkle of ugly?
Take a little practice, but you can.
And that's fine. What's that song? It said, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, marry an ugly woman and make her your wife.
I like that one right there.
When Calvin speaks about being with his wife for 11 years and happily married, that's the commitment here in the Philippines. That's part of the culture. Usually when they join together in marriage of sorts, they usually join, for the long haul. A unity that designed to last a long time. It doesn't always happen, but most of the time when it does break up, oftentimes it would be because of the guy who cheats on her or starts another family, or what have you like that. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it happens. But it's happening. Here in the Philippines, they don't have divorce.
That's right. I was going to take you back behind you. Country law, there's no such thing as divorce. The last president just went out. If y'all help me pronounce his name, Duterte was trying to pass a law that divorce can be entered into.
Easily, yeah.
But where we from, we practice divorce, and since we've been practicing divorce, you stand in front of a Monsignor, and you commit yourself to that person, in good or bad, sickness or health,
Right.
to death do you part. Where we from, if it get bad, it's gonna do you part.
Right. And so Filipino girls, now you being black and I'm being black,
it's gonna be good.
I mean, we love girls.
Yeah,
We love girls. And me, I look at girls.
Which is good because I can't get no relief from that ass.
Ooh, now that's a 5-alarm booty. Woo, woo. Somebody dial 311 because I saw something and I need to say something.
Hey! Christmas dinner call is missing 2 hams.
Yeah. I bet she's got a big old penis under there, too.
I look at
like me, yeah.
I also look at guys too, and I point out how handsome they are, whatever. But I look at girls. Maybe because I'm a photographer, whatever. But I admire the beauty that God has given this earth.
Amen.
Girls, you know what I'm saying? And here in the Philippines, my God, to just see them everywhere. I mean, it's like walking in the Garden of Eden.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I have a partner who her and I can look at girls and we can comment on them together. We can comment on what they wear. We can comment on one time we had stopped in the street and this girl was walking and she almost fell. So I told Mia, I said, do you know why she almost fell? She said, why? Because her breast was too big. She's like, top head. It's funny. It's good to have a partner like that because these are thoughts that you just don't keep to yourself, but you share what you're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So, So now we talked about girls a little bit. Let me talk, but you're a little bit more experienced than I am. Let's go to finances.
Right.
Okay.
Finance is a
Okay, yeah.
up and down situation.
Well, I mean, how, as a young married couple, what advice would you give me? Okay. In America, I was with a girl for 10 years. And the reason we were, because when we started the relationship, I decided that we were going to split everything down the middle, 50-50. If we went to McDonald's, you pay for half, I went half. When we went out to clubs, I bring $20, you bring $20. If we go on cruises, you pay, you should always be able to pay for yourself.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the month, we tally it up and whoever owed. And it worked fine because why? Because it took the financial, turmoil about money out of the equation. So, but here in the Philippines, it's different because it's not money to split, but it's just a different concept of money.
Well, we are from the United States and we have our occupations that pays us large salary based on your skill.
Right.
In the Philippines, I like to say from time gone by, it's more like a cheap labor type of situation.
That's very true.
So the dollar to peso ratio don't compare.
Right. That's true.
But being Americans living in the Philippines, it is a blessing for us to be able to convert our American dollar into Filipino peso.
Right.
I've heard long ago, when you marry a Filipina, you basically marry her family.
Oh.
You basically marry her.
Preach.
We don't tell it like this. But, which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
So you got more family members
Yes,
there, more love there,
Yes.
more caring people.
Yes.
And we talk about finance, and that's one of the most, a driving point for a Filipino, being that they on that cheap labor market to find someone that can give them a better opportunity, a better grasp on life. And which is, like I stated before, it's nothing bad.
Right.
It's somebody, we look up to somebody that's trying, want something better, want to be with somebody better.
Right.
I told my wife, when my wife said to me one day, we just got off the flight from America. We in a pedicab, and my head kind of turned this way, and she told me, "I see you looking." I said, "Well, how can I help? They're everywhere." This been 10 years ago. They're everywhere,
Right.
And then she stated to me, "She do look good in that skirt." I'm telling you the truth. Right, but we don't lie anyway. But there's just a thing about money. I don't know how my brother handled his situation. I usually don't deal with money until I'm ready to spend the grabs on that.
That's what I was going with that. I was going to answer to you, who handles the money in your relationship?
My wife does.
Your wife does.
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you together before you turned over the keys to the bank book?
Well, not a long time initially. When I see, because initially I didn't know how to deal with Filipino money. I didn't know how to do that. She knew, and then even if I go on the open market, they're gonna give her better
deal cost
than they're gonna give me.
You're a foreigner.
I don't know if I was with you. I went to a restaurant having a drink. You never told that, bro. Having a drink, rum and coke. And the lady told me,
this is Hennessy, not rum and coke.
You gotta pay for the rum and the coke. I thought I'm a mixed drink, you know.
Right.
Help me out here.
Right.
But I did. After saying things under my breath about her, and I'm gonna leave that under the table, you know what I mean? But I had a good time. That's another thing about the Philippines. You can really have a good time, but not a whole lot of money. You can buy a lot of material things, but not a whole lot of money. When we talk about finances here, this is one of the best places to live as a retired American when you're dealing with finances. Other than the women, the lay of the land, the beauty that you may see. They have good fishing here. You're talking about the lay of the land. You can live off the land.
Yeah, you sure can.
Yeah, they grow everything here.
Yeah.
If you don't see no rabbits, no skunks, no squirrels, because they already done ate them. They already
like they ate all the sharks.
Yeah.
But they got a plant called barangay leaf. You know, the
Barangay leaf.
I was in Cebu, and I was at my condominium, and I'm walking my dog Helen, and I see a guy pull up, and he climbed over this wall, and now he's in this tree, and he's breaking these branches down, and I watch it come down, and I say, hey, amigo. You know,
I'm sorry, dude.
what's that? I said, oh, really? You're gonna eat that? I said, wow. So, but barangay leaves is a plant that grows pretty much everywhere. It grows wild, but it's very healthy. It's very therapeutic, and it's also very, as my mother would say, it would make a turd. You know what I'm saying? It's something you can eat. And you know, oftentimes when you're at the beach and when the tide goes out, you see these people, you know, in the water, the tide, and they're spending hours, and you're watching them. And you wonder, you know,
what are they doing?
What are they doing?
Yeah.
So one time I asked the girl, I always talk to girls. So I said, Dad, what is that? I said, can I see? And so she said, yeah. And she showed me, she had a jar like this, and inside all these things were moving inside like this. And it's these little small crustaceans, these little small snails, these little small, I say shrimps, or what are these little small things? And I'm saying, what could you possibly do to that? And someone explained to me, he said, what it does, it adds flavor to their food. But whether eating barangay leaves or fish or whatever, this adds flavor to it. I said, oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Getting back to financing. There's one girl who I knew, she kept good track of over her books. You know, she was paying a bill, she said, oh, I owe this one, over this one. And I'm always complaining that I never have enough money. I'm always broke at the end of the month. Which, congratulations, this is the first month that I ended with money in our bank account, so I'm very proud of ourselves, me and I. But, and I was complaining, and I told her, oh, you think it's easy handling this money? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, look. I would give you 65,000 pesos. 65,000 is over $1,000. Because 50,000 is 1,000, and then you can add whatever you want. But it's like about $1,200 or something like that. So I said, okay, I would give you this, and you budget for the month. And so she said, okay, she can do it. So I said, okay, fine. So she sat down and, hours writing down shit. Scratch that.
Somebody I know.
Right. So I said, okay, fine. So about 3 days later, she came to me and said, Gerard, I want to give you back your money. I said, why? She says, I can't do it. I can't budget your money. So I said, okay, thank you. Okay, you can't do it. How much you got left? She said, 11,000 pesos. I went, what? Out of 65,000 pesos, all you got is 11,000 pesos. In 3 days, I wanted to scream at her. I wanted to pick her ass up and throw her off the terrace. But then all I said was, remember I said, if you ever got nothing to say, I said, it's okay. It's okay. I'm glad you come to me and told me that, that you couldn't do it or whatever. So anyway, that kind of broke me from doing that, whatever. So finance. Now you guys are talking. It's going to be heard on the video. I want you to hear in the background. They're going to be listening to what you're saying.
They're going to be looking for where y'all at.
They said
they rather probably see y'all on the video.
So it's okay. So in fact, that's who you're hearing in the background. Okay. So if you hear something, that's who you're hearing it from. Okay, and that's Meredith, who is Calvin's wife, who was sitting over there. Okay, so that's the thing about finances. So I've been trying to find out the right formula to work with me on as far as budgeting, as far as doing something. And someone suggested recently, and I think I'm going to take them up on it. You know, give her an allowance. Okay. You know, which I was giving her allowance. I've given me allowance. You know, and when we started getting married, you know, I stopped it because we would have to pay for the cost of the wedding. But someone said to me, he says, give her allowance, and when she needs something from the store, have her make her a list, and you go buy it. I said, wow. I said that makes a lot of sense. And you know what I'm saying? If she needs lettuce, tomato, potatoes or whatever, you go buy it. I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna try that.
Well, you got a good financial marriage situation. In my marriage, she give me allowance, and then she go to the store. She tell me to write down your list. I'm going to the store and get lettuce, tomatoes, potatoes. I just sit here and wait. She say you want something to drink. She know you don't want nothing but some cold beer.
Right.
Give them some cold beer or something to keep them from being bored.
Right.
You know, I was speaking to my wife earlier today about 3 reasons people or we drink. Cure the boredom. Social drinking, and to get drunk. In that order. In that order. Now, mine is mostly boredom. Gives me something to do, and I social drink with you, but you're gonna find in every drinking atmosphere, somebody gonna get drunk. And that's when you need to say, oh.
We don't want to talk about that. About 2 days ago, I go by this market where I sit behind the counter with the guy who cuts meats and sells people. So I usually get a bottle of Tanqueray or Red Horse. And so I finish this bottle of Tanqueray with him in a long neck. Long neck is a big bottle.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm coming home and I stop at this store. I stop at this store and then, whatever I bought or whatever it was, like I don't even remember most of it because I'm drunk.
Yeah.
So the next day, Mia says, "Oh, the girl says that you owe her for 3 lighters." I said, 3 lighters? I said, 3 lighters? She said, "Yeah, you bought the kids' lighter." I bought kids' lighter. What kind of crap is that? If this is, I did a video once about how foreigners come here to die. We come to drink ourselves to death. And I say that because there are a lot of foreigners who drink, mad beer. Like a 12-pack or something like this, or over 12 bottles of beer a day, or what have you. And if that's what you want to do, without hearing the nagging of a wife at home, or you don't work, you don't fuck, that's the way you do it.
Well, the work is over.
Yeah.
Then, of course, will come.
Yeah.
But the drinking, I have to elaborate, give my wife a shout out. As much as I like to indulge in alcoholic beverages, she never complains until she get angry about maybe the finances of her. And she's like, if you ain't been drinking all that beer, you don't get to have somebody. I said, but honey.
Mine's the other. If you haven't been buying everybody loads,
I get that.
We can save somebody.
I get that one too. But it is our nature to help people.
Thank you.
It's our nature. It's our nature.
Thank you.
My wife said, you give him that. This is just how we do.
Thank you.
Because we once needed help as we was coming up in America as Black Americans. We needed help. But we were strong, and we still are. We helped each other. We can sing songs that you all wouldn't even know what we're talking about, and we are singing in Messiah. But you won't understand.
But the point that you made is that
take your time.
American niggers.
You can't be no lawyer.
We know what it is not to have.
That's right.
Spare some change. Leave me alone, I don't have any change. All right, God bless you, sir. Oh, now I feel bad. Here.
Okay. Let's talk about the culture. You see, in America, in our culture, when we see someone it's like we hug them, or we kiss them, you know, like this, and that's always. See, here in the Philippines, they have a thing called bless, and that's when the younger will hold, the elder will hold the hand out, and the youngest one will bless like this, and that's a form of respect. So when they try to do it to me, I say, no. Let me give you a grandfather kiss. I call it a grandfather kiss. Come here, give me a grandfather kiss. And the same thing what I do with all girls, I give them like grandfather kiss. It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that you mean more to me than her who's just walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a relationship together as a girlfriend. You know, you being a friend of mine.
Right. I'm gonna piggyback.
So put your chair closer.
I'm gonna piggyback off that.
Okay,
Now, help me out here in my marriage situation to share with my wife that is a part of our nature. She used to see me help people as a greeting of the day.
Right.
But to her, that was seemed like disrespect. Why are you helping her?
Right.
You know, but it's nothing against you. It's the way we open up to people.
Sis, next time, your time to serve. Okay? Okay, good. Go ahead,
Drink some of the best toxins that can be served anywhere in the world. And I share with you, it's not cheap.
But okay, so go ahead, do what you say.
Yeah, like I say, you help me out, and you share with my wife, and I know you have. That is just another day, something that we do out of respect. Let's go back to what you're talking about. What was that? It's kind, caring, sharing, giving people. When my wife said, why do you give back to them? That's what I do.
Right.
You know, that's what we do. So that's just a part of.
I mean, do you know what hurts me? The thing that really hurts me, I would tell you right now, is a Filipino tipping a Filipino.
That's right.
They got no problem giving 1 peso, 3 pesos, like this. And then I want to she's not with me. Like this. Because, you know, we're giving someone 10 pesos or 20 pesos. It's nothing. It's nothing, you know. Anyway, but, you know, we are also family orientated.
That's right, people.
You know, this is what I was telling. Matter of fact, me and I was having this conversation, I think, yesterday or today or something like this. And I was explaining to her that, you know, wherever I've gone in the world, I always found a family who would adopt me. You know, whether it's a grandma who made grits and eggs like this, who made for me, and, you know, and I adopted their family. So as I travel around the world, I've always done the same thing. I always found like one place where I would call home. You know, and now here in the Philippines, you know, my being here for so long and moving from certain places, you know, I have accumulated pockets of family.
Yeah.
You know, you see.
Yeah.
Now, although I have these pockets of family, you know, I love them to death. You know, and I want to make my rounds. You see, and, you know, we have a thing called checking traps. You know, where you go around and say, hi, how are you doing? How you been? You know, like this, I'm still alive, you're still alive. I just want you to know, come by and say hello. Hi, how you doing? How you been? Like everything. Just want to come by and say hello. And sometimes I get a burning, yearning inside of me to want to go by and say hello to these people. Because, you know, although there's nothing there, you know, beyond the fact that we know each other, I used to get on the phone and call people. I still do. I still do. I go on the phone and I'll call someone and say, hey, how you doing? Oh, nothing, man. Nothing's going on. I just want to call you and tell you that I'm thinking about you. You know, that's
I like to add to what you were saying. I have pockets of family too. The place I've been. The only thing about that, they don't want you to leave. They don't want you to leave. And you know, some of these families don't want you to leave, but they be looking to see what you brought. Especially here in the Philippines. But it's just a way of their life. You know, they expect from you.
Well, let me add on to that. You know, if a foreigner's got a beautiful Filipino girl who's young or whatever, and he's an old ass, 1 foot in the grave type of cat. You know what I'm saying? Saying like that. He should be happy to help the Filipinos family out.
That's right.
You know, he should be happy. You know, yeah. You know, I want to help your family because I'm gonna show your family that I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thank you to them for having you. And now you're mine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes I get, what I need. Okay, you have needs. Okay, I understand you have needs. What are they? Because you see, whatever you need, I will give it to you and make it disappear. You know what I'm saying? Because my goal in life right now is to make her life comfortable. Give her what she needs. You know what I'm saying? You provide for her because a man has to take care of something. And I'm taking care of her, I'm taking care of kids, what they need or whatever it is. But don't be mad at me if I don't know, because that's your job. Your job is to know what's needed and come to me and say, Daddy, come to me and say, listen, we need this. Okay, I'll make it happen.
Yeah, well, doing this video, you have dealt with my marriage situation, and my wife have a better understanding of our culture.
Right, okay.
She don't have a lot of, put this in layman terms, exposure to Afro-Americans, right, other than myself. And you,
right?
You know what I mean? Like I said, doing this video, she have a better understanding of the things that I do, or maybe the things I say, or the things I give, or the places I go, talking to them pocket family. You know, and you mentioned something earlier. You mentioned something earlier about taking care. And during your last video that I was honored to be a part of.
Right.
We spoke on you just hit it, caring and taking care. And we were speaking on a Christianity basis.
Right.
You remember your last video? You said about taking care of your person or people. That's the way God made us.
Right.
We spoke earlier. He pulled that rib of a man and made woman, so you can take care of it. And that's that whole, I say that situation there. That's where the whole situation comes from, of taking care of a lady. I see we have some spectators here that's enjoying. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, but okay now.
Did they pay? Pay when you go or pay when you gone.
Just as long as they don't want credits. Okay, so we touched on finances, and we touched on girls, and we touched on Black Americans, how they feel about things. Now let's move on to something outside of the realm of the Philippines. Let's talk about the United States. Okay, are you up on a lot of stuff on what's going on or whatever?
Well, yes.
Like with Kanye West, Trump. Before we talk about that, before the pandemic, when I was living in Bacoon, which is not too far from you, you used to come by and see me all the time. In fact, I saved you from wrecking your car one day.
Yeah, no doubt. No, hey.
Okay, oh my God.
You don't even know that.
No, we should do that.
No, I probably went over head.
But anyway,
those that just say, well, I'm really against love on that. Oh, well, shit, there's been a couple of times you should have been there with me. You wasn't.
I'll tell you right now, if Calvin says, come on, take a ride with me and let's bend some corners.
That's from the world. You talking about the United States?
Oh,
that's
my
from
God.
the world.
Oh, my God. Buckle up. Put in your helmet. Roll out the window because you'll be riding for a long time.
Well, I like to add to that. I am a professional driver, and I like a co-driver with me, like you was on that certain occasion. Thank God you was there. Because that old vehicle there still been wrapped around the tree. A monument right about. They say, who's this? I'm going to get out and go.
Man, she has to turn that down. Turn it down. Turn the volume down. Make it on it.
Wait,
because all of the video, you're going to hear that. Okay, that's Calvin's daughter. Her name is Megan. Megan, come here, Megan. Come here.
Watch that glass.
Look at this. Look at this, darling. Look at this darling. Look at this darling. Oh my God. You know why she liked me so much? Because I should tell her we have the same hair, right? Yeah. How old are you, Megan? 5 years old. And what grade you in? 6? Grade 2. And what's your favorite subject?
Kinder 2.
What's your favorite subject?
Art. I like drawing, painting.
Oh, you like drawing and painting? This is Calvin. This is Calvin's daughter. Look at her, and she's getting tall. Every time I see her, she's getting taller and taller. Do you love your Uncle Onyx? Really? How much? This much? Or this much? Or this much?
You have me.
How much? How much? Ah! Okay, good girl. Okay,
She's Filipino.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about the United States. Are you keeping abreast of what's happening in the United States? Well, and with Trump and Herschel Walker and all that stuff. Oh yeah, wait. I know what I want to tell you. I wanted to tell you that before the pandemic, you know, I used to socialize with a lot of, you know, white Americans. You know, hey, you know, I guess you might say. And you know, we get together, we laugh, we party, we snap on one another. One of them was a retired police officer, you know, and he used to police in Brooklyn or somewhere in Manhattan or whatever. So he was an old dude, so he had a fixed image of black people. In fact, he was shot, you know, by an Hispanic or something like this. So deep down inside, he was still very racist. And you know, when Trump came about, when it was about Joe Biden and Trump or whatever, then it was a matter of choosing sides. And once they chose sides, then it was like it was very hostile environment, my being black, to be around, because I felt very, you know, not intimidated, but just threatened for being there because it already had me labeled as a Democrat, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent, but I was already labeled as something I wasn't. So because of that, a lot of those pockets that I used to get together and play spades with, hang out, play cards with, you know, broke up. One time, now this is around Christmas time. I'm here photographing these mixed children. They were white and Filipino, and I'm taking pictures of them like this. Next thing I know, yo, I need some help. I was back about. I don't know why I was back about 3 of them there. You down? Oh my God! Pool. What the hell you doing? Because we had left the pool table. No, I tell you, I was over there photographing. You know, sometimes, you know, I will see something and I want to take a picture of it, and so that was going on. And so, yeah, that was a wild night. But when I figured out, but the point of the matter is that the cavalry wasn't coming. I said, let me get on my horse. But there are times, like I was just recently at the Red Table, which is where I met Mia. And you know, so I was sitting there almost before Mia had left. You know, the guy said, "Yo, why don't you come over and join us?" I said, "Wow." I said, "Like that's never happened to me." But oftentimes, those who invite me are from the UK, Australia. You know, they are from different countries other than the U.S. You know, and is the culture different? Well, yeah, they view blacks differently in those countries than they would, you know, in America. Right. You know, in fact, this one white dude I met, I can't remember his name, but one brother I met named Michael. Michael, shout out to Michael. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was very appreciative that I got invited like that, you know, into the conversation. You're a very lovable guy. Well, thank you. You know, it may not strike people on the initial approach. You know, you wearing what do you call it, a headband, let me see, a do-rag, like Michael Vick. Okay, but see, you got glasses on like Stevie Wonder. But they have their inbred opinion about blacks from the United States. If I meet a white guy from Florida, it's like, or from Ohio, I said, oh, okay. And he's tattooed up and all this shit like this. I said, okay. I know you don't want to meet me. You want to hang me.
Oh, you got an old friend of mine. How did you say that? He said, he went up to the tree and seen some trees, and Christmas tree. He said, no, I ain't getting too close to the tree because I get too close to the tree. They hang me. You know what I mean? There's some rough roads that we have traveled as Afro-Americans.
Right, sure.
Bumps in the road, I may say, but we endure. We endure. And we survive, and we speak to the people from our four leaders who taught us how to do it. You can have it either way you want it. You know, you can go on the rims of Martin Luther King, one of our black leaders, God rest his soul, or you can go on the other hand with Malcolm X, God rest your soul. And you know I'm telling the truth. And our Filipino wife will not even know what we've been through. You know, they don't know nothing about the struggle. I have a situation myself.
Well, it's not of their nature,
yeah.
You know, to want to, to understand other people's history of who they are. You see, you know, I took the time to dive into the Filipino history. And if you want to see some atrocities, some horrible things happen, look how the Japanese treated the Philippines, how the Filipinos. You know, it's bad. How U.S. treated them.
The Mexicans,
how the Spanish treated them.
That's right. Spanish,
you know what I'm saying? You see. So to understand another person, I learn a lot of my history from talking to those guys who I just mentioned that I'm sitting around the table with, because they give me history that I didn't know about, even in my country. I didn't know.
You think I'm gonna talk? Huh? Mill, you got your hand full there. You know what? You just officially become my little sister. You my little sister now, Mill. You my little sister. So from now on, sister.
Okay.
Yeah, sister. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right, sister. Why don't y'all take some of them cold beers, put them in beers, and put them in the ice box?
Well, you see, sometimes you know, I get a longing to want to have these conversations. You know, you can't have it with someone from the Philippines because often the time, you know, it's hard for them to comprehend not only what you're saying, but to be able to dissect what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
Can I add to that real quick? Yeah. You know, when you speak your language, your native language, should I say, they hear you. Because I have a broad history of travel. You know what? They take it like we eat food. They have to hear it in their language, then turn it around where it makes sense to them.
Right, sure. You're absolutely right. Sometimes you know, Mia come out and she'll say something, blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay. I feel the need, I should say something.
Do you?
I say something, and she turns around and she walks away, and it's like that. But you know, that's also the beauty of the culture.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in America, you don't want someone always challenging you all the time. You don't want someone saying you're wrong all the time. You don't want someone saying that. Hey, you know, I mean, when me and I watch TV, we watch movies, I take a delight in stopping it and explaining to her the plot of what's going on, because in this way she can have a better appreciation of the movie.
And
you know
also you.
Yeah.
I use words when I'm watching TV. They may come out with a word, or let me grab one real quick. Say, for example, custody. And I said, Tish, you know what that means? I say, you do or you don't? She said, no. That means that we have you, or I have it.
Right.
Yeah, and not just use that word, possession. Right. Possession, how do you say that? Possession is half of the 50% of owning. You know.
Possession, possession, 100, owning, we have.
I ain't talking about, no, wow. I had tried to lend, we talk Filipino culture again, something to one of my brothers, my best one, and all of them, I've seen it from all of them.
Right.
He was trying to read something.
Right. Okay.
So I gave him a pair of reading glasses. I ain't seen him since. I asked my brother one day, do you want some bread? I set the bread down, he took the whole loaf. So I live it.
But see what, you you just have to just understand that that's the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, like Mia's family came over last week.
I met them at your
You have to come over sometimes, but you don't want to drive. But they came over, and we had lunch, and stuff like this. And then, what they did was they put up a basketball court for the boys.
No, they didn't.
Oh, man, you see, now we're out there playing basketball like this, like that. You see, in the video I just posted, I didn't post it yet because I was hoping that we did it. But I said that when the Filipinos come over, they're going to eat everything and fix everything.
And they're good at that.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
They're good at that.
They say ingenuity is the mother of invention.
They're good at
and they do a terrific job at making something out of nothing.
That's right. And that's just what we were speaking about earlier. They don't get paid for what they do.
Oh, yeah.
They don't get paid for what they do. A lady told me, and she was a manager of a worldwide food chain. I'll say the name of it. I know you got your trademark, 7-Eleven.
Okay.
And she told me how much she make in a day. I'm like, wow.
How much you make in a day?
300.
300 pesos a day.
300 pesos. And she's the manager of a worldwide food chain. I'm like, wow. I bet about 3,000 a day. You know what I mean? I don't know how you do it. We very what you call that, expensive people. We won't.
Well, it's not so much being expensive people. It's about knowing your own value.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I was in Cebu, and it was this by my condominium, it was this hotel, and when I walked Helen, my dog, and the doorman, I used to stop and talk with him, and the security guard.
You had to add that dog in there.
I had to let you know.
But Helen got a girl.
Helen got a baby. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what happened was that, I was stopping up and talking to him. And one day I asked him, I said, how long you been working there? Now, mind you, he is standing in front of the hotel, in front of a podium, and when cars pull up, he opens the door and says, yes, come right in. Come right in. Come right in. That's his only job. And so I said, how long you been doing this? He said, 14 years. And it blew my mind. I said, for 14 years, this is the best that you see for your life? And all you want to do is work right here, open the door, and go in? And, I mean, it's like, where's the incentive to want to be inside and own this motherfucker?
That's right.
That's right. You see, but then you have to understand that here in the Philippines, having a job is so important. And that's why I think one of the reasons why the service is so good here, because that's why you can go up to a counter and say, "Come here, guy," and talk to her. You grab her by a hand, put her on the counter and say, "How you doing?" and talk to her or whatever, because they don't want to do anything that's going to make them lose that job.
Have you ever went to a store and had to open the door? No. That's it. The same security. They open the door. I'll be saying thank you on my way in. And I'm telling the truth. Yeah. All over the country. And if I may, there are some bad apples in every bar.
Oh, have you ever been robbed in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Wait. Before we talk about getting robbed, let's talk about lending money. Okay.
Well, can I borrow 1,000? You'll never see that 1,000 again. You'll never see it again. So I learned how to, can I borrow 1,000? You know what I mean? But you'll see it again. I'll give it back. We know type people. We know about borrowing and lending from others. That borrow means. And I used to tell my relatives, why don't you just say, will you give me? Because I know you ain't gonna give it back. See, you know that, can I borrow? For how long? You know what I mean? Forever. You ain't gonna get it back.
Someone once told me that if a Filipino asks you for money or to borrow money, they don't respect you. They don't respect you because they're not going to pay it back. Now,
The average won't.
now you see, I've loaned money and there have been a couple who paid back. I want to make that clear, not all like that. But if someone asks me for money or to borrow money and I give it to him, I said, look, you don't have to pay this back. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm letting them know, in my words, is that I'm not expecting you to pay it back. Just take this money and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? So this is Calvin's wife. Say hello.
Well, you put her back on point there. You said she had it the next time.
Look what I said.
Put juice in here. You still gotta drink a beer.
Yeah, you see?
You still gotta drink a beer. Y'all should just stay all night.
No.
You got hella.
Yeah, what time is it now? Because it's almost 4 o'clock. We got 4 o'clock. Is that what you? At 4 o'clock we go because I don't drive at night.
Well, you let us start.
This is for America's pouring your drinks. She doesn't want to be on camera.
Camera shot. What I really meant. You have my marriage situation. Just some of the things that I do in the sight of my wife. To me, being me. Just being me, you know what I mean? Is it come from the giving or the greeting? It's being me. It's being me.
See, me and those people say, what happens to you when you get drunk, Gerard? I said, what happens to me is you better hide all your girls. And Mia gets mad at one time she got very mad at me. But it's just that simple, you know. Because what they say, yo, baby, you know when you hide don't count.
We don't get high.
No, I said get drunk. Get drunk.
Okay, there you go. And we usually don't get drunk. We may get a little intoxicated.
I have a joke.
I got one too. See movement.
They were gonna hang this black guy.
Uh-oh.
And so they told him, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you out to the woods and let you pick the tree that you want us to hang you on. So he said, so we got there, walk around for an hour and all this stuff. And the guy says, I want, Calvin, he says, I want that tree. He says, oh, he said, that tree? He said, that tree is too little for us to hang you on. He said, I know, I want to wait till it gets tall enough.
So we gonna live with our own guy.
You say you pick any tree, I want that little motherfucker. And when it gets tall enough, then you can hang.
Okay, I'm up to that. He was telling the people about how many stuff they doing. They got dang on. What's his name? He just passed away. God rest his soul. Samuel Jackson and they had one another. Oh Lord bless them. One other stand up, Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac
from Chicago, Illinois, and Bernie.
But see, I'm gonna say something right here. Let's talk about Bernie Mac. If you watch the Bernie Mac show, you know he would talk directly to the camera about the kids, about whatever, and he used man language.
Can we talk? She is playing.
As much as it's killing me inside, that I want to kick the motherfucking truth and speak profanity and speak a lot of stuff to you or whatever, you know, and I mean really tell you some deep down stuff, but I can't. Why? Because I'm in a different country. My lips are not sealed, but they are monitored. I don't want to say nothing that's going to make this country see he's undesirable. Listen to what he says. Listen to what he's talking. He's talking about drugs. He's glorifying drugs. You know, because I got drug stories that'll make your wig spin. But I can't say those things.
I viewed one of them when you came to my quarters. I had to take a good look to see that I see what I see, and it was. That used to be me. Having a good time in my recreation, you know what I mean? But I always stay sane. Always stay sane. It's a thing that don't let it take over your mind.
Okay, we have electricity?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna pause this right now, and we're going to show you, this is Calvin's house, but Calvin is also an entrepreneur. He has a part of his house that's for rent, for someone who's looking for a place to live monthly or hourly. We'll be right back. Okay, this is Calvin's house, and I'm gonna get a chance to show you. This brother's like an entrepreneur. He's taking. If you pan around here, you know, then follow me, no man. If you pan right here, the kids and all that stuff, and right here, this is a dirty kitchen. We pointed out this time, or whatever. But Calvin is creating a hotel environment here for his house. So we're gonna show you the first room that he has. So come on, walk with me over here. So come on inside. This room here, you can't get any better than if you were in any hotel in Dumaguete. If you look around, it has the bed, curtains, has a beautiful Filipina. It has TV. It has everything you need. A closet. Listen, closet space for your linen and your clothes. Has a nice, comfortable couch for you to sit on. It has a refrigerator. You see?
Still you.
So, I'm putting this out to you because if you're in the sounds of this video, and if you're coming to Dumaguete for however length of time, if you're coming for 2 days, or if you're coming for 1 month, or if you want to sign a 6-month lease, you know, contact me at Filipino Soul. Gerard Black and the Philippines with the Truth. I will put Calvin's information down the bottom so you can contact him directly. But look, now if you come out here, this over here, they are building. What are they building over here? This is a big recreation center that they're building. The mayor lives over here. The mayor's living over here. And if you come over here, yeah, there are several of the units that are being built. You know, so you just don't have one unit, you have several units that you can choose to want to, 4 units that you can choose, but this is the first completed one, so if you want to, you know, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to walk around this way so you kind of see where you would enter into your apartment. My hapon. How are you? Okay. So you see, you will come through here. This is Calvin's automobile. This is a 2 or 3 car port. So you will come through here, you will park here, and you will go into your unit from over there. Okay? And like I said, this is where they're building this big recreation here. The mayor is building it. I don't know the whole logistics of it, but you can see. And of course, you would enter from over here. So, come on. Okay. So you just got a chance to see one of Calvin's available rentals. He recently had someone who was in there for a few months or something like this. He moved out, but it's okay because this is not something permanent. It can be. It's up to you. But Calvin, tell everybody about the unit.
Well, the unit is a 1-unit bedroom, and it's fully equipped with all the amenities that you may need for any single-family home. You have your air conditioning, you have your cable TV, and it is wall-mounted. You also have your porcelain facility that has a shower that is heated. You also have a king-size bed.
That's important, boy. I lived up here by cold for a whole year. I took cold showers.
Refrigerator.
Okay.
Right. And then you stay adjacent to Calvin. So if you have any malfunction within your unit, all you have to do is let me know between my wife and myself. We will make sure that problem is taken care of.
This is one Calvin. Who's this?
That's my
niece. This
niece.
Your niece. Rhea. So how old are you, Rhea? 14. This is Rhea. I will show you all of them. Pan over there, man, so you can see all of them. All of them. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. See, this is the thing that when I'm talking to you about Filipino girls, look at them. Look at the hair, you know, the white skin. They all look the same. Get out of here. So it's good to have it. So go ahead and finish talking about the unit.
Yeah, like I said, the unit is available, and based on your needs, is how you say that? Close to the ocean.
Right. Yes.
Walking distance to the ocean.
Yes.
And we also have available transportation if in emergency you may need it.
Right. Okay. So if someone want to get in touch with you about this unit, who would they call? Okay.
They can do one or two things.
Okay. Gotcha.
They can email me at Morales_Marites.
Spell it. Cause
MORALES_Marites. MARITES @yahoo.com. We take all offers. We will do a slight background check based on just where you live, where you're from, what are you here for? Well, like my brother mentioned, if it's short term or long term, or this unit is also available for sale, but you can't, I don't know, my price, and we welcome you. All offers will be considered.
Come here, Dyke. Come here. No, I know. Wait.
There's another one of my nieces.
Calvin just said, or you call her Dyke. See, the reason being because in the Filipino culture, Dyke means girl, and dong means boy. So you got dong like dong and Dyke. Look, the reason I grabbed the head because look at these pigtails. Oh my God.
Up and coming.
So how old are you?
12.
Move your hand. 12? What's your name? Look at the dimples. Look at the dimples. What's your name?
Carmel.
Carmel. Okay. So Carmel. So what do you like to do in life? What do you want to be?
This one I want to hear. You was talking about that earlier.
So what do you want to be? Oh, she wants to be a secret. That means she wants to be a kept woman. Okay. All right. The rest of them are running because they don't want to be on camera. Yeah. So go ahead, Calvin. So you come out the unit.
No, I gave you.
You were spelling the name. Did you spell the name
again?
Okay. Well, yeah, because I didn't hear it.
Morales. MORALES_Marites. MARITES @yahoo.com.
Okay.
I know we will get a lot of followers, a lot of offers based on the videos that my brother have filmed, and they are all legal. They all are respectful, and they all are with humor, and they all with fun, love, and laughter. So give us an email here and please give us an offer. And I would like to say, we'll take you off. What are you willing to pay? And we'll tell you what we want from you. And if you're the type of resident that we would like to have in our province, in our neighborhood.
And near his family.
There you go.
Because that's the most important thing.
There you go.
You know, if you're one of those foreigners who want to do do what I'm going to say.
Well, we got a hop and jock. You told me to take our hop and jock.
But anyway, if you want to know more about it, I know a lot of you in my comment section asked me where would you go. Where this is Bacon. Bacon is a very nice area, very safe area. Although they found a head.
I told you this.
True story. Okay, but
a head of what?
A head.
Human head.
Yeah. Okay.
Floating.
No, just laying on the rocks.
Oh my God.
So if you want to know where place to live, some of you are flying in, some of your hotels, you may not have a place or whatever. Just hit me up or hit Calvin up and say, yo, G, I need a place right away, and we'll hook you up if Calvin has some space available.
And we would like to thank you all for watching this video.
Yes.
And on myself, thank my brother here for inviting me to film again with him.
Yes.
And I know it'll be many, many more. And we're going to join somehow as in the near future, somehow young enough to come in Filipino.
He has a niece. Oh my God, she sings like a. Oh my God! We're not gonna get into it because
she's a nurse now.
She got. Oh, is she really?
Really?
Wow!
Oh, I have another.
Good for her. Good for her.
That's y'all ask for y'all prayers. She's in the city of Cebu.
Cebu,
waiting to take the board exam
for
civil engineer.
Woo!
Graduate of Salomon University.
Woo!
Yes, sir. Yes,
I tell you what, these Filipinos say what you want, but they're smart because they know what fields to go into, especially the medical. Okay, this is Gerard, Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. So what's your glass, Calvin?
I ate it after.
Okay, so we'll share this one. Okay, you have a sip. Dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly, always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. Are we living good today, brother?
Yes, sir. We live good every day.
If you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Woodson, former lead singer of the Temptation One song, treat her like a lady. And if you're lucky enough to have a good man like us,
you very blessed.
Make us feel like a king. And remember, we will always love you more. Want to thank me on the camera. Thank Maris for participating, for serving the drinks, and for being also our host here. Okay, and come here,
Megan.
Come here, Megan. Come here, Megan. This is also one of our hosts, Megan. Okay, we want to thank Megan for being here with us too. Okay, remember, we will always love you more. Let's throw me a kiss, Megan. Throw me a kiss. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Peace out.